Happy video day, guys. So for today's video, we've got a highly anticipated video. I have been waiting for this foundation to arrive. It finally got here, and we're going to be talking all about the brand new Pat McGrath Labs foundation. This is her first foundation to her line. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. So straight off the bat, guys, I was not like super excited to pick up this foundation. There was a few things about the foundation that kind of got me a little bit worried, but I did ask you guys on Instagram and also on my YouTube channel, what did you guys think? Did you guys want me to pick this up? So at first the poll was around 50-50, and I was wondering what was the real reason that maybe my audience is a little bit hesitant on this foundation, and there was a few things. So then when I started to notice that, and then the poll kind of changed and more people wanted it, I said, you know what, I need to pick up this foundation. I need to pick it up not because I am dying to purchase it, but because you guys are dying for me to review it, and I decided to just get it. Let's see how it works out. I'm crossing my fingers that this works for me, but we'll get into the reasons that I'm a little bit afraid. So in this video, I will be demoing this product, giving you guys some thoughts. There's a few things I have to say about this foundation, as well as doing a wear test for you. I will wear it for the entire day and let you guys know how it lasts. All right, guys, so before we get into the video, a quick introduction. I'm Christina Brooke. This is the Glam Ranch. If you guys like makeup, that's what I do from my little ranch. I give you guys some information all about makeup. So if you guys like the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I do have a giveaway going on now. If you guys want to enter it, look in the description box after you watch the video. All right, guys, let's get into the outer packaging. Let's get into application. Let's talk about this foundation. So the first thing is the outer packaging. I actually think the outer packaging is really pretty. It is more high-end looking. Pat McGrath did a really good job. I do like the way that the packaging opens. Everything feels kind of like a little experience here. Once you pull out the foundation, in my opinion, the foundation does look pretty luxe. The only thing is the little sticker in the front, in my opinion, is just not as luxurious as I would expect it to look. And I do like that it is a glass bottle, especially for the price tag. I am happy that it's a glass bottle. And once you pull off this top, there is a pump, which is important. I like pumps. I think it's a very nice thing to add, especially in luxury foundations. I do expect for there to be a pump. So far, the packaging, I like it. I think it's really cool, except for the sticker on the front. Like, I honestly feel like, yeah, this sticker is gonna wipe off. Like, I literally just went like this with my nail and the sticker is already kind of removing. Like, just a quick little dab with my nail and this is already kind of like detaching. I feel like multiple uses, hands, sweat, things hitting this sticker is gonna peel off, which I don't expect for stickers to peel off of very expensive foundation bottles. However, without the sticker, I love the bottle. I love this bottle. I think the bottle is beautiful. I really love the pump. The pump is pretty. I love the top that goes on top. So everything else I love. I don't like this sticker. I love the carton that it came in, but who cares about the carton that it came in? We're just gonna toss that. We gotta stick to the foundation. So the foundation has an okay design. It would have been a lot better if this sticker wasn't here. I wish that this was just like imprinted on here. I wish it wasn't so, like, I know that this sticker is gonna come off and I really don't like that. So I've given you guys my opinion on the outer packaging. Now there's another thing that I'm a little bit hesitant on. When I asked you guys on my comments, one of you guys actually were the ones that told me about this. You actually asked me, what did I think about alcohol being so high in the contents of this foundation? I believe it's like the third or fourth on the list of the top ingredients inside of this foundation. Now, usually that means that the content of alcohol is pretty high. So another thing I need to point out to you guys is there's different kinds of alcohol. There's some alcohol that actually is not that drying on the skin and actually is okay. I did look up when a manufacturer only writes alcohol, that usually suggests that it is one of the alcohols that are drying on the skin, one of the bad alcohols. The alcohol in this could be a drying agent. Now, if you guys don't have dry skin, this wouldn't bother you. And I know some of you guys are wondering, well, you have combo skin. Why does that bother you? The reason that it bothers me is because I suffer from eczema. I don't have really bad eczema, but every once in a while, certain products will bring the eczema out. Now, I am okay with foundations having alcohol in it. YSL All Hours foundation is one of my favorite foundations, and it does have alcohol in it, and it's pretty high up on the scale. However, the All Hours is a very full coverage foundation that I love to wear when I'm going out, and I don't wear it every single day. Like, it's just like, it's like my go-to going out foundation, and it's not my everyday foundation. So in that way, it doesn't really affect my skin that much. However, in a foundation like this that has a light medium coverage, coverage, I wouldn't be jumping to this type of foundation for my nights out. It would be more of an everyday for me. So when I did see the high concentrate of alcohol in the ingredients, it did kind of make me step back a little bit, and I was a little bit hesitant on that because of the way that I would like to use this foundation is more on an everyday basis. I do have my eyebrows done and I do have a balm on. That's all I have on my face. Now, I am going to apply a primer. I'm gonna use the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer, and the reason I'm using this one is because there's alcohol inside of this foundation. I wanna use something a little bit more hydrating, a little bit more thick, so that my skin hopefully doesn't feel the alcohol as much, and that's kind of like what I'm aiming for. Let's check out the consistency first. See what the consistency is like. Ooh. Oh, okay, so that's super watery. Ooh, the color looks a little bit darker than I'm used to. I did get light medium 13 just for reference. Because it's a little bit more liquidy. Ooh, the color is a little on the very yellow side for me. This color might be a little too dark and yellow, but we'll see when we blend it out. I'm gonna use a brush to blend this out because of the fact that it's so liquidy. See, as I blend it, the color is looking a little bit better. It is drying pretty quickly as well, so we're spreading out that one pump that I did, that I put on the back of my hand, and it really isn't giving me too much coverage. So I'm gonna just apply this a little bit more, because that coverage wasn't enough for me. Let's just go ahead and stipple this in to try to see how much coverage we can get. Yeah, this color is a little too dark for me. A little too dark and a little too... That's pretty yellow. I'm kind of shocked at how yellow this is. I pumped it out pretty many times, probably 3 times. And I feel like I can still see a lot of the acne scars coming through my skin. This is very light coverage. Like, this isn't even really medium yet, in my opinion. It's kind of like light getting medium. Like, I would need to use more. Now, I'm just gonna put it in this area only. I mean, it is building pretty nicely. It does build, but it just feels like I have to use a lot. So there we go. Okay, so one thing I do like is I think the finish is very pretty. It is giving me like kind of like a glowy look, which I do like. Let me put on some concealer and let me do my eye makeup and everything. And let me see if I want to set this. It's weird because I felt like it dried very quickly when I was applying it, but it feels sticky. Like, it almost feels like I want to set it with something. Like, it almost feels like it needs to be set, but it's weird because when you're applying it, you almost feel like it's not blending out that easily because it almost feels like it's drying. But then now it feels like a little sticky. So I put the entire face of makeup on. I did end up setting just underneath the eyes. I felt like after I used my bronzer, I didn't have to really set too much of the face, and I'm torn. I'm so torn, guys, because right now I actually really love the way the makeup looks. I feel like the combination of putting on a concealer, but I didn't bring the concealer down my face. I only put it here. Kind of brightened up the face a little bit. The bronzer helped to give a little bit more warmth to the yellow. And I feel like the color match ended up being really good on the skin. So the undertone does match. And I'm actually kind of liking the way it looks. You can see your skin through. More than I'm used to. I'm not somebody who loves full coverage. I do like a medium buildable coverage, but I don't love full coverage. This one ended up being able to see a little bit more skin through than I like, but I am able to see a little bit, but it actually makes my skin look pretty, and I don't mind the way it looks. It actually looks nice. Now, there's something about the foundation that adds this luminosity to your skin that I do like. See, the only time that I see a little bit of an issue is if you look closely. I don't have dry skin, but some areas I'm a little dry. Like right around here I'm a little dry, and I feel like it's emphasizing a little bit of the dryness on my skin. Kind of like the foundation kind of like gathered there a little bit more than in other areas. But for the most part, I do like the way it looks. The weird thing is, because it has alcohol in, you would think that it would feel very dry, but it actually doesn't even really feel dry on your skin. It actually feels a little bit like it never set down. It almost feels like a little sticky. You know what I'm saying? Even though I did set it down in certain areas, it still feels a little sticky. That's an interesting quality to it. I'm not used to that. Another thing I'm a little bit is the smell. It has kind of like a, it's not a perfume. It's almost like the foundation has a foundation-y smell. I don't want to say paint because it doesn't really smell like the Wet n Wild one, which I can't stand. It has like that chemical foundation smell that when you put it on, like I almost feel like I smell chemical, which is kind of obnoxious, and I keep smelling it. Because it has like that feeling that it's almost sticky, it almost makes you feel like you're wearing makeup, which I don't like either, because it is a more light to medium coverage foundation. So this is like something that I would wear like daily, or I would be wearing in places that I don't want to wear a lot of makeup. And for those occasions, I usually don't like to feel like I have makeup on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you're wearing like a full coverage face, sometimes you feel like you're gonna feel like you have a little bit of makeup on because you're wearing so much makeup. It's a thicker makeup. But when you're wearing like a lighter makeup, you expect to feel like air, like wow, it feels so good. So it has a few qualities that I don't like. Now what I do like is the way it looks. It looks very pretty and it has a nice appearance. It's just, I don't feel right now that the good look that it has outweighs the problems that I have with it. And another thing I'm going to point out, I do feel a little bit of itchiness right here around my nose area. Now that just could be because it has a little bit more drying to it. The areas that you are a little bit more dry, it is kind of probably drying it out a little bit more. So I am starting to feel a little itchy in certain areas. I'm going to see how that lasts throughout the day. If I feel like it's getting too itchy for me, I may have to remove it. But for right now, it's just around here that I feel a little bit of an itch, but for the most part, it's not really bothering me. I am going to be very critical on it just because it is $68. If you guys are going to spend $68 on a foundation, I want to make sure that this is worth it. And as of right now, even though it looks pretty, I don't believe it is worth it, especially not for me, because of the factors that I mentioned that I'm not in love with right now. We'll see. But I do think it looks so pretty. It really does look pretty, but you see, I'm a little itchy. Let's hold it out. Let's keep on going. I'm going to wear this for the rest of the night, and I'll let you guys know how it held up as well as my final thoughts. Right now, we're going into this wear test going, ugh. Okay, so I'm back. It's been a good 2-3 hours. It hasn't been that long, but I do want to give you a little update that the foundation is wearing pretty nicely, and I'm still feeling a little itchy around this area, which is the area that I usually get dry. I did film another video, different outfit, but I did want to answer some of you guys' questions right now. So let's answer Heather Hernandez's question. She's asking if it's good for dry skin. That's a tricky question, Heather, because I feel like there's portions of it, like for example, it doesn't feel like it feels drying. But because of the alcohol that it has in it, and because of the fact that I feel itchy in certain areas that I get a little bit drier, I'm wondering if dry skin is going to have an issue with this, maybe feeling a little bit too drying. Maybe not the first day you wear it, but maybe after consecutive days of wearing it, you might need a little breather for your skin. Like the All Hours, like I've told you before, is another foundation I love, and I could wear it multiple days and it doesn't give me any problem. And also if I put it on one day, I don't feel itchy. So there's something different between the two formulas, and remember, there could be always a difference in the amount of alcohol, or it could be maybe even another one of the actual ingredients in there that makes me itchy, but I do feel like it's in the dry area. So Jenny W, you were the one that kind of showed me this. You said that alcohol is listed pretty high in the ingredients list. You're the one that kind of told me, and I was like, no, because I do try to not get too many foundations that have like high concentrations of stuff that could dry out the skin, but it's not like I stray away from them and I say, no, if it has alcohol, I won't buy it. I was a little bit scared of this one just because of how liquidy the formula was. Right now, I'm not 100% sure how this is going to last on my skin. Like I said, right around here, I do feel it a little irritated. So a lot of people are asking also, is it worth the price? And we're going to get to that at the end of the video. I'm definitely going to tell you guys my thoughts. But as of right now, I'm going to continue to wear it. There's a little bit of breakup happening on my nose. You see that this goes back to the dry skin problem. The area right here around my nose, I feel like it's getting stuck here. Do you guys see it? Oh, I think you could see it good on camera. right around here is starting to kind of like gather into the creases of my nose right here. I'm a little bit dry, and I feel like it's just not looking that great right here on this side too. It's not looking that great around the nose area. So I'm gonna wanna see how that progresses with the time, but we'll see. All right, guys, so we're gonna end this video here. It's been at least 6 hours that I've had this foundation on. I have some thoughts. My eyeshadow looks amazing. The Pat McGrath eyeshadows look so good. But there's a few things. Like the first thing is I don't feel the itchiness anymore. That has all disappeared. And within like a first 2 or 3 hours, I started feeling a little bit better. And I don't feel it no more. We'll see if I have any redness after I pull off the foundation. I really like that all my fine lines, like I don't feel like there's too much emphasis. Like I feel like I don't feel like I see my fine lines as much. Sometimes on my forehead I'm very expressive like that, so sometimes I'll see like the lines of like the foundation, you know, like kind of like looking like, oh look at the lines, and it kind of sits there. On this foundation I feel like it looks really good. I feel like it didn't settle into the lines and it kind of smoothed over, so I really love that, and I love the finish of it, and I like the way that it looks. There's some parts about the way it looks that I'm like, wow, that looks so pretty, and then there's some parts that I'm like, I wish it would cover a little bit more for the price tag. So those are the things I like about it. The things I don't like about it is it still feels wet, and that kind of drives me a little bit insane because I know it's not wet. And it just feels wet. It like has one of those feelings of you feel like you have makeup on that didn't dry all the way. That's how I feel with it on. I don't really like that feeling, especially for such a lightweight foundation. Another thing is the smell did go away, but it took a while. I kept smelling like that chemical kind of foundation smell. I don't like that smell. It lasted good. I feel like my nose area kind of like ate up the foundation, but for the coverage, I feel like it stayed nice. I feel like in photography, this also looks pretty good. Like I like the way it looked when I snapped some photos. I was like, well, it looks really pretty. Like it doesn't look I'm cakey or if I have too much makeup on. It looked good in photos. But I just don't feel like all of the things that I'm saying makes the price tag worth it, if you know what I'm saying. For the $68, I would have expected very minimal problems with it, and I feel like I have a little bit too many. I do feel like this is going to be a hit or miss. Like I'm not 100% sure how people are going to like this, only because I feel like even if you have oily skin, I feel like this feeling of it not drying down might feel a little bit too like oily for you, and I feel like if you have dry skin, you're going to like that feeling because it feels more moisturized, but you're not going to like the fact that it does make you feel a little bit dried. And I feel like this is like those foundations that you wear like multiple times in a row, and then maybe you'll start feeling a little bit more dried on your face because of that itchy feeling that I felt in the beginning. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see. You see how it's kind of like wiped off all here and here? Like it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like left in certain areas. I mean, it doesn't look fantastic at this hour either, to be honest. Because of the price tag, I don't think that the foundation is worth it. If the price was cheaper, I would be a little bit less inclined to say that. I might actually say that because the finish is so pretty, I'm going to say that maybe you want to try it out if the price was cheaper. But because the price is so expensive, I can't say that because I just feel like there's too many flaws for me. So yeah, guys, I'll leave you guys any other comments that I have down in the description box if I left anything out from this video, but I'm actually kind of bummed. I just feel like for the price tag, there was a little bit too many things that I did not like. That's all I have for you guys on today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget, thumbs up, leave me your comments below, and I will talk to you guys later.